So we're looking down rows 1, 2, 3, 4 complete. Carl Thompson missing from the middle of row number 5, but it looks as though everybody is all there. So green flag at the back. All eyes to the lights. We've done their 2 warm-up laps. There will be a 9-lap race. The revs rise and the red lights go out. That means we are racing towards Paddock Hill Bend. It is Sam Cranston looking once more to take the home shot ahead of Scott Halliday, and he does so with great success. So Sam Cranston leads the way. That is Darrell Dance looking to go all the way around the outside there and moves up into second place. Just the old doctor's dangle in front of Scott Halliday, but looks like Darrell Dance there up in the second place. Hugh Riley's running a little bit wide. But yeah, he's having a great weekend, is Darrell, isn't he?
Yeah, no, it nearly gave him the rider of the day yesterday, to be fair, but he didn't have so much of a fight hand on his hands as our manager we did give the rider of the day to, but nonetheless, he's very, very strong around the outside of Paddock Hill Bend. It's a real strength of his. Surprised he's quite so tight at clearways, actually. I thought he'd be taking a slightly more classic, wider sweeping line, but it was what worked for him. Does lose a couple of bike lengths, though, on his rival. Cranston over the line, but look how strong he's going to be into Paddock. See how high he stays into Paddock Hill Bend. Oh, a bit too high there, actually, because down the inside, looking at the gap there, Lee Healy, I think, has taken advantage, and that forces him a little bit wide. Scott Halliday's in the mix as well. Somebody else pulls off over there.
Don Gilbert, number 134, is off the bike again, unfortunately.
He's had a wretched weekend, hasn't he, poor guy? Down the hill, though, Sam Cranston, I have to say, because Sam took last year out, didn't he?
Yeah, we didn't see him at all, I don't think.
So I don't know if he did anything at all, but I tell you what, if he didn't do anything, he has come back stronger than ever. He was a good rookie champion there, and to be leading the power bikes as a clubman, as any clubman will tell you, is hard work anyway. So, very strong field out there. These guys are going to be breaking into the sub-50-second lap time this time, I reckon.
Oh, we've got a rider off there at clearways, but the rider is looking perfectly okay as the leaders make their way across the line once more. So it's Cranston leading by 3/10 of a second. We'll keep an eye on it, and it's number 10, Ross Dunning, who's dropping down the timing screen.
Oops.
So Ross, who was 4th on the grid, unfortunately down and out of the race up there at clearways, but like we say, he's looking perfectly okay as the marshals tend to the machine. Dropping down now from Druids in towards Graham Hill Bend. Sam Cranston leads the way ahead of Lee Healy. There is Scott Halliday in 3rd place on the Honda. Then it's Darrell Dance, Matt Hardy, and Dan Chamberlain up into 6th place ahead of Luke Wallington. So Dan Chamberlain, who is Rookie 1000 reigning champion on the 750, Keith, is up into 6th place.
Healy's now up into the lead, mate. Pulled a good move on the inside of Cranston there into Surtees. Yeah, no, I'm so impressed with Dan on that 750. I don't know why he doesn't get a bigger bike, but I'm guessing funds could be one of the reasons. The classic Gixxer 750. Well, we talk about 600s and thousands not being that much different around a lot of circuits anyway, particularly in the rookies, and maybe the 750 is going to have a slight advantage in the handling stakes here as well. So Cranston now has got a bit of a battle on his hand because the fastest man on the track, Lee Healy, now he's out in front, is absolutely nailing it. He's tripped the timing beam, got himself a purple at the first sector, and he's meaning to go on with the business. But what you seen there, mate?
Scott Halliday just slips up the inside of Sam Cranston, so moves up into 2nd place. So it's Healy from Halliday. That is 1st and 2nd, and then it's Sam Cranston in 3rd place ahead of 4th position Darrell Dance. And that's the first of the retros as well, of course.
Yeah.
2nd is Ramon Hunt, 3rd is Jamie Thomas, and then we have Tyler Donovan, Matt Wren and Stuart Latimer. They are 6 riders in the Retro Thousands in this race.
Over the line we come then once again. The big bikes powering their way over deep into 3 figures before they anchor uphill Paddock Hill once again. Real change there. Healy and Halliday goes past on Cranston, but Cranston still leads the clubman. 2nd of the clubmans now is Dan Chamberlain there, and Martin Pearce way back there in 10th place in the 3rd of them. Got the retros, bit of chatter on the radio. Look up at Druids.
Yeah, can't see anything around the circuit. But Scott Halliday putting a bit of distance between himself and Sam Cranston as he sets about chasing after Lee Healy, and he's gone purple in the first sector, in fact. So Scott Halliday, he's had a taste of the victory yesterday. He wants more of it today.
Yeah, another 25 points in his account again. We're not sure what the plans are for a lot of these guys, and obviously a lot of them won't know what their plans are until their bank balances settle themselves down. You're right, Halliday is coming fast. Oh, a little bit of fresh air under the wheel as he hits the bumps. Is he going to go deep under the brake? That was from a long, long way back. Is he going to get that turn? Surely he can't. He does. Beautiful move there by Halliday on Healy.
He's been to the Pete Baker School of Braking, hasn't he?
Yeah. There's a gap there somewhere. Just aim for it, go for it. I tell you what, there was a fair old gap to go for, and I can't believe how far back he came from. That was a good dozen or so bike lengths. You didn't think that would have been on.
Max Hardy at the inside of Daryl Dance and retakes that position. That's in 4th place, but Dance on the more powerful GSXR looking at the inside, but Max says no, thank you very much, and just leans on it.
Yeah, the youngster there, and of course, I think Max is more used to racing against Daryl's Dance's son, Craig, basically, because the youngsters are a similar sort of age as the leaders come across the line. I tell you what, Haley is not giving up on this one, mate. He is pushing on as hard as he dare, but Halliday with the empty track in front of him turns in a 49.204 to claim the fastest lap of the race, but right in his wheel tracks, only a fraction of a second slower is the rival. And then Cranston now goes purple in sector 2 as well. So Cranston is definitely not giving up on this one either. Having a quick look around the circuit, I don't think back markers are going to come into play here. We're now 2/3 of the way into the race, of course, reduced to 9 laps after that incident to Carl Thompson. As look around the circuit, some good battles all the way down. One coming to Graham Hill at the moment, actually, mate, 4-way battle. Not quite sure exactly who that is. Maybe it's Hunt, Blackfoot, Baker and O'Mara, maybe.
That's the one.
Yeah, that's Phil Baker, as opposed to Pete Baker, who is actually finally retired. He is here this weekend. He's doing a bit of coaching, a bit of helping out, but he has actually managed to hang up those long-used crow trees. I think he kept Crow Tree in business for the last 5 years of their business, actually. All the leathers always look the same, but a bit of a grandfather's axe, those leathers. They definitely weren't the same pair every time. Down the hill come the leaders then. Healy is definitely not giving up on this one, but I have to say, I think that Halliday has got the measure. And having said that, fastest lap of the race has just been set by the man in 4th place. That is Max Hardy. So, again, we're not sure what sort of Ducati he's got underneath him, but it's clearly a pretty quick one because the youngster, Peterborough-based youngster, has just tipped in the fastest lap. And he'll actually be 3rd in class, so he'll be looking to take home a good bronze medal for this, add to his already impressive collection. I said the one who has impressed me this weekend is Sam Cranston, actually, because somebody who's been sitting out for a while. He's doing a really good job, Sam. He's very, very quick, so I'm pretty sure he hasn't raced for a little while. So, watch him come down the hill.
We are on the last lap, of course. It's a 9-lap race.
Of course. It's nearly time to wave the checkered flag, isn't it?
Yeah, Luke Wallington's having a good ride there. He's up into 5th place on that number 49 Honda. But Sam Cranston, like you said, he took the overall victory yesterday and has won both Clubman races so far, looking to make it 3 from 3 in the Clubman Thousands at the end of this one. But they're making their way round onto the start-finish straight once more. The checkered flag is beckoning, and it's going to be Scott Halliday who takes his 2nd victory of the weekend, ahead of Lee Healy by 0.2 of a second. But Lee Healy, with the fastest lap, will be on pole position for the race later on today. Small
consolation prize of 49.076. We don't quite get into the 48s, but nonetheless a very good lap time. 49.1, we'll have to see Halliday on the front row, and I think, be a 49.1 for Wallington as well there. Luke Wallington, another former rookie 1,000 champion from about 4 years ago, 3 or 4 years ago, something like that. Yeah. And he's been racing in British for the last couple of years, hasn't he?
He has, yeah. He's on the he's in stock thousands for a bit, and then did the GP2 Evos, and got a podium at Silverstone actually a few years ago.
Yeah, so he's definitely not a shabby rider himself. So we go from some of the most modern machinery in the club to some of